Thank you to our guests and to everyone who's come over. This is my first time in this museum. It's incredible, the elements of our history here. I'd like to just make a pitch for something closer to the Singapore journey, where you get a better feel for how we went through our history, whether it be books or quotes or videos. Like in Singapore, they have videos of the people who suffered through the wire. And I think that will get us more into beyond the formality and the nice appreciation of history, if we can add some emotion and character to it. So anyway, that's just my thoughts on that. Having said that, I want to focus on maybe a few things as we welcome our partners. One is the natural market that we have for this, which we can kick off on, which is the tourism sector. And for our friends who may be from DOT, we'd like to engage with you more. Second is the merchants, the micro merchants that are waiting for this kind of product that can benefit from this. And third, surrounding all of this is the OF market that's our natural market today in terms of remittances and payments. So let me start first with tourism. So I was just talking to Jeff here, and primarily we use BSP stats, so don't quote me because I'm just trying to read these numbers off the top of my head. Total payment volume in the Philippines is something like $391 billion, correct? 391 billion, something like that. And if you take out the cash component, which is 43%, and you just go with just purely what's carded, you end up with something like 6.6 trillion pesos if you convert this all into pesos. Now let's go to tourism. It's funny because tourism, last year, we had something like 6.5 million tourists. Indonesia had 13, and then it steps up to 42 million in Malaysia, 32 million in Thailand, 18 million in Vietnam. We are really far behind. So I think we can do a lot more to push our beaches, our culture, beyond the OFWs and the balikbayan who come and spend money with us when they come back. And as a matter of fact, that number, according to BSP stats, is small. Out of 6.5 million tourists last year, only 500,000 were contract workers or were balikbayans, who are immigrants to other countries or green card holders. So if you're talking about 500,000, maybe 300,000 OFWs, they spend less. They stay 14 days. Then we have the balikbayans, maybe they stay 11, 12 days. No. The OFWs stay a month, the balikbayans stay 3 weeks, but they only spend, cards lang ito cards lang ito. The OFWs use only 20% of their funding for cards. The balikbayans, around 50% for cards. The foreign tourists, which is 6 million worth of them, 65% is spent on cards. When you add that all together, there's a spending capacity of 420 billion pesos. Okay? And the product that we have here, that we're launching in conjunction with Visa, is meant to address that for the micro and the small enterprises. Now let me go to that second segment, the micro and the small enterprises. That's around 1 million of them. Maybe 95% of that, 90 to 95% is micro enterprises. By that I understand to mean 3 million pesos in sales annually. And so what we feel is that if we have a service where you can use your phone and you can accept not just PH, but you can also accept the cash from cards that are coming in, particularly Visa, coming in to pay you, then you are enabled for more sales, and you can grow your business further. And that's our experience. Have we shown the video yet? Not yet. Okay, we'll show the video. We have experience in Davao in terms of why this is valuable to the small merchants, the micro merchants. I also wanted to say that we have something like our OFW market and our Balikbayan market is only 5% of the spend. 95% of that is tourists. However, in terms of putting up businesses, 13% of all middle-income households who are overseas. They have at least one OFW overseas, and 13% of these overseas guys, they put up businesses here as well. So they understand the market, and we can enable something like 300,000 small and micro businesses for this. So we see a tremendous opportunity for enabling micro and small enterprises. Why? For two reasons. One is convenience. Easier to onboard, less documentation, but still eKYC, and just that. Also, when we move people to digital, now we can enable credit. There's something like a 25 billion peso credit gap in the Philippines that can be met by managing B2B credit to these customers. So overall, that's our vision. By having wallets enabled with cards, particularly the Visa card, we can get a larger portion of the tourist market and make it easier for them to pay. And we can get our merchants to also enable them to accept payments and to settle in a more convenient way and to access credit as well. So this is a long story, but and maybe I went overboard in using statistics, but then again, I want to say that that's our vision for enabling micro and small enterprises, primarily for the tourism market, but also for others. I hope you like the video later.
Thank you for being here. Before I start, I just want to acknowledge our VVIP in the audience. Undersecretary Leandro Aguirre from the ICT. Also Assistant Secretary Celine from the ICT. Also Assistant Secretary Armand Lawrence Latinan from the Department of Tourism. Deputy Director Attorney Tricia Andres from the BSP. And Martin Reyes also from the BSP. Aldrin Navarro from SICA. And Kenneth Fernandez from the DTI. But most especially, thank you, and it's great to partner with you, my good friend Eki Gonzalez, the last 15 years, our friends from the media, and also Team Visa and Team PUMC, as well as our partners from all aggregators and merchant groups. Magandang hapon sa inyo lahat. So before I go to my speech, I think I just want to really thank again the media. You've always been with us in a lot of things that we've been launching. And if I were to only go back the last 3 months, you were there with us as Visa when we launched LRT. You were also there when we launched the government procurement purchase card of Landbank. You were also there when we launched also the GCash funding from cards. And last week, you were also there when we launched Apple Pay in the Philippines. And now, thank you again sa walang sawang pagsuporta. You're here again with us to launch Visa Accept with USSC OC. So maraming salamat, especially to the media. Today marks a game-changing innovation for MSME in the country. They really play a crucial role when it comes to economic development. They make up 99% of all businesses here in the Philippines and 67% in terms of employment. Despite their outsized impact, MSME continue to face barriers to digitization. Many of them are hindered from accepting card payments due to hardware cost, lengthy onboarding, and generally lack of awareness and knowledge about relevant products and services. Today, with our partner, USSC Money Services Inc., so let me call them UMSI, we are helping unlock new opportunities for Filipino MSMEs with UAccept. It's an innovation that transforms a smartphone into a payment acceptance device. UAccept, embedded in UMSI's UGrow app, is powered by Visa Accept. Visa Accept, with connectivity of over 200 countries and territories, over 160 currencies, and around 5 billion Visa credentials, we can provide the SME the scale and reach to grow in an increasingly digital world, not only here in the Philippines, but globally. This is significant because the future of commerce is digital, and I hope all of us can already feel that the future of commerce is digital. And it's not a future 5 years from now, but it's a future that is already present. According to the VPSP, more than 57% already of retail transactions is already digital. And that was in 2024. So imagine what the number is in 2025. UAccept allows both business owners and customers to transact with confidence and ease through the speed, security, and reliability expected from Visa payment system. There is really great opportunity for UAccept to help shape commerce, particularly in tourism, and this is what Eki said a while ago. In 2023, when we did a survey, we call it the Global Travel Intention Survey, what we saw is 97% of tourists within Asia Pacific, when they travel to a country, 97% bring their card. Debit, credit, prepaid, pero carded na sila. And only 17% bring cash. Visa data also shows that when we enable card acceptance, it also increases spend on the MSME. So 83% of Filipino SME owners reported an increase in turnover accepting card payments. And 41% said customers tend to actually spend more when they open it up for cards. And for those who do not accept cards, 67% said they would gladly embrace it if there is that option. UAccept also provides near real-time settlement. So again, it solves that cash flow problem for an SME, helping our kababayans manage their cash flow. Visa research shows that 26% of SMEs cite settlement always as a pain point. So this one also solves that. For many Filipino entrepreneurs, growth starts with getting paid real time. And with UAccept, we make it easier, safer, and more affordable. So maraming salamat to USSC, UMSI for partnering this with us. Pero it wouldn't be a Jeff speech if I don't do ad-lib. So this is my ad-lib. So I'll tell a story now about my daughter. My daughter is, matagal na yan, 4 or 5 years ago, she already went to Australia. She's studying there. But every time she goes here, her pain point is always that paying pera. Because I cannot use my card. She's from UP. So she always goes back to UP, goes to the UP shopping center, eats in places where she normally eats, and hindi niya pwedeng gamitin yung kanyang card or ang kanyang Apple Pay. So this one is one use case that definitely will help. I was in Boracay 2 months ago, and then we all know the famous Chori Burger. Sa Chori Burger, kung gusto mong bumili, cash yan, e-wallet, di ba? So hindi rin sila tumatanggap ng card. So these are just 2 examples where by enabling them easily, you don't deny them the same. So malaki po ang nakikita namin potential for this one. If you look at the number of cards in the Philippines, based on the PSP report as of December, more than 100 million cards available outside the dyan. So wala pong shortage when it comes to cards. Where merong kakulangan is saan natin pwedeng gamitin yung card. So this is one of those initiatives that we're doing wherein the long tail, we're making sure that they can accept cards. So we feel and we are confident that there would be a impactful difference, especially to the lives of our SMSEs. There's also a lot of plans for us to partner with the Department of Tourism to really identify areas where we can enable SMEs, because tourists nowadays, they no longer want the usual typical Manila or just the city. They want to go really out there in the provinces to really experience what's natural and what's local. And this solution with USSC fits perfectly to enable people. So again, maraming salamat. Thank you for being here. I hope you enjoyed the rest of the afternoon.
ICT here, we recognize the importance of this initiative. Just looking at what it says there, tapping to a new milestone in empowering Filipino small businesses. This is part of what we are trying to do in DICT. So first, on behalf of the Department of Information and Communications Technology, just in case people are not familiar with the term DICT, I'm pleased to express our support for the launch of UAccept here in the Philippines. As mentioned several times by Sir Inigo and Sir Jeffrey, we understand the importance of MSMEs, and we believe that MSMEs are really the backbone of our community. Based on statistics, MSMEs account for 99.6% of registered businesses, and we recognize the importance of that. They employ a majority of our workforce, majority of Filipinos, and they create livelihood and respond to local needs. But we recognize that as technology moves forward, as technology continues to reshape the way we do business, we have to ensure that our MSMEs are not left behind. We recognize that sometimes digital transformation can be costly, can be difficult for them. We want to make sure that support is there for them. And as more economic activity moves online and consumers increasingly adopt digital modes of payment, we want to make sure that our MSMEs are able to participate. We want to make sure that the MSMEs are able to take advantage of all the opportunities provided in this movement towards digital payments. This means making digital tools not only available to our MSMEs, but also practical, affordable, and easy for businesses to use in their day-to-day operations. And that's why we recognize the value of what is being launched here today. UAccept contributes to this by giving entrepreneurs and small businesses another way to accept contactless payments, payments without the need for a traditional point-of-sale device. For a small business, reducing the cost, reducing the complexity of accepting digital payments can make a real difference. It can help lower barriers to digital adoption and make technology more responsive to the realities of smaller businesses. This complements what we are working towards in DICT. Currently, DICT has programs that train MSMEs on how to take advantage of the digital space. We provide training in areas including digital marketing, creative media, web and app development. The goal is to be able to empower our MSMEs to take advantage of all of these things. We also have programs that we are implementing together with local government that aim to bring MSMEs online. We recognize that if MSMEs are able to put their businesses online, then that expands their market, that expands their operations, and that expands hopefully the number of people that they're able to employ. So looking at all of these different things that we're doing, this fits neatly into all of those. And we hope that there is an opportunity for us to work together in a lot of these initiatives. If we're able to empower MSMEs with your product, then that gives a lot more opportunities for them. So our goal in the ICT is simple. Technology should make it easier for MSMEs to do business. It should help them reach more customers, manage their operations better, and create more opportunities for them to grow. We recognize that government cannot do this alone. We need support from industry partners that can help develop practical solutions to the concerns of our MSMEs. And we need continued collaboration to make sure that these solutions reach the businesses that can benefit the most from them. Again, we welcome initiatives like UAccept that contribute to a more inclusive digital economy and give MSMEs more ways to participate in it. Again, congratulations to Visa, USSC, all of the other partners that are here today. Thank you again for having us.
Manager of Visa Philippines, Mr. Xavier Gonzalez, President and CEO of the SSC Fund Services, colleagues in government, friends from the media, good afternoon. I am here on behalf of Secretary Tita Angara Matay, who sends her full support and solidarity for this milestone. On behalf of the Department of Tourism, thank you for the invitation and congratulations to Visa and UMSI on the launch of UAccept. Today, Visa Philippines, together with its partner, USSC Money Services, launches UAccept, an innovative solution that enables micro and small merchants to accept digital payments using only their smartphones. Given the department's leadership in promoting MSME development, digitalization, and financial inclusion, we see strong alignment between this initiative and our efforts to empower Filipino entrepreneurs and help them participate more fully in the digital economy. Now, you might be asking, what does a branding and marketing official do at a Visa event? Well, as many of you know, the DOT's policy in marketing our destinations is meant to be data-driven and built on product and market matching. So simply put, whatever a market demands, we match it with the product that appeals to it. And for that match to work, our provinces need to be ready to welcome travelers, not just in spirit, but in carrying capacity and in the financial structure or infrastructure to serve them. This is where Visa comes in. Tomorrow, ahead of the Summer Sonic performances by Beanie and SB19, our newly appointed Philippine Tourism Ambassadors, we will be launching the Beanie and SB19 microsites on our website, tourism.gov.ph. When we met with this fine young men and women this past month, last July, we asked each of them of their dream destinations. As soon as we had their answers, we rallied our regional tourism officers across the provinces and islands that each member of these groups named and asked local stakeholders to come on board the website and offer promotions so that they can be part of this campaign. We are talking about individual, standalone tourism enterprises, our mom and pops, or our sari-sari stores of tourism, if you will, many of which do not have a digitized platform that can accept payment from their customers. And this is where we need Visa. Your program will greatly benefit our stakeholders, and we would like you to reach these mom and pops and help them capture the demand that we are generating at the DOT. This is where we need you, Visa again. And financial inclusion and destination marketing are not separate conversations. These are the same conversations. They are the same conversation. A traveler drawn to a province by a song, a story, or a campaign by these groups, SB19 and Beanie, should be able to actually spend there. And a small entrepreneur ready to welcome that traveler should be able to receive that payment. UAccept helps close that gap. Again, congratulations to Visa, to UMSI, and to the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas for championing this initiative. The Department of Tourism looks forward to a strong and lasting partnership as we bring more Filipino entrepreneurs into this digital economy. One dream destination, one mom and pop store, and one tap at a time. Maraming salamat po and congratulations.
Financial inclusion is such a wonderful term. What does it mean exactly? In the ground, for each person all over the Philippines, what does digital financial inclusion mean? In our definition, digital financial inclusion is simple. Everyone, even the people in Tawi-Tawi, in Bar, in Lanao del Norte, in Maguindanao, in Batanes, all of those guys should have the same opportunity as the people here in the cities. That, for us, is what digital financial inclusion means. But what does it actually mean on the ground? When you have a population of 120 million, with a substantial number of them not even having birth certificates, how do you onboard them? How do you make them an e-wallet so that they can participate in this wonderful digital economy? And that's what we set out to do. Digital financial inclusion for us is not about a grand concept. It's about individuals. And I'll talk about two individuals in particular. I will talk about two individuals, Loron and Mohani. their products are outside. They're represented by the Asia Foundation, who are funding them through Accelerate. Noron and Mohani were members of the Bangsamoro Women's Auxiliary Brigade. Noron herself was a commander of the MILF. And I met them last year. And we have a window of opportunity where we can finally get them to participate in this country of ours. They've always been left out. And we've been helping them. And this particular product that Visa has helped us do is the perfect example of how we can make digital financial inclusion real to people like Noron and Mohani. They have a stall in Cotabato. They accept cash payments right now. They accept payments for wallets, but they're using their personal GCash accounts, not a merchant account. So, but that's what we want to do. We want to help them participate in a digital economy as easily as possible. When you look at the previous requirements to have Visa acceptance or card acceptance, it was a long list of requirements. You have to have a corporation. If you're a corporation, you have to have 3 years audited financial statements. You have to spend in the terminal. Ang hirap ma-onboard para makatanggap ng credit card payments or ng card payments in general. But with the product that we're working on with Visa, called You Accept, under an app you go, we can onboard a merchant in 10 minutes or less. And that's important because the people we talk to man their stores. So when we started this, we went to a food store in Davao. They don't have the opportunity to go to an office. They have to sell every single minute while they're there. And as soon as we onboarded them, there was someone trying to pay for their durian with a card. That just goes to show the opportunity that this opens up for our MSMEs, our financially excluded portions. The IPs that you see some of the fabrics there, or some of them are from the Latin tribe. It's not about digital payments. It's about giving that MSME the tools to make them grow. And as you said, it's about giving the MSME a market beyond the proximate radius of where they trade. A market that is far bigger than just the Philippine market alone. And that's our vision for this particular product. Now, a lot of these things are up in the air. Everyone will claim, you just say that, but how real is it? And we're fortunate that we have someone who flew in just for this, Maria Alejandra Peralta, who will explain, when I sit down, just how easy it is to use our product. You accept, you grow up in Visa. So, Maria.
So let's bring it to life exactly how it works, right? It's not, let's say, a high-level concept. It's a reality. And it's something that I just bought, a beautiful fabric from outside with my Singaporean card. I will show you in a second. But let's see how exactly it works. So if we go to step 1, it's only 6 steps. So step 1, you go to YouGrow app and you input your registered email address and password to log in. This is after you have already issued a card with UMSI, and you're ready to start a Kickstarter process. In step 2, you will already see the homepage of the app, and you will see this icon that represents tapping on a phone. Yeah, it's the international symbol of NFC or near field capability, where we read the cards. After that, the step 2. Step 3, we have now the dashboard. So this is a merchant that does not, or a seller that has not transacted yet, but is about to start transacting for the first time. So you see, all up to now, that was the onboarding process, the simplest you will ever see. Now, when the person is ready to start accepting, you see that there is a limit to the amount they can accept, because this is meant to be only for micro sellers, and there are a number of benefits that are linked to that. When we click on Start a New Sale, we go immediately to step 4, which is that we will input 3 transaction amount that we want to sell. We also have a maximum amount that is allowed per transaction so that we can limit it to transactions that are legitimate from what a microseller will be normally selling to you or to tourists coming in. There is an option to create a sale item where they can input the amount if they want, and there's also an option to create a mini inventory where they pre-log some of their products, the most sold or the ones that they have available with the price already there. Then they click on accept payment and we go to step 5. So you can see already this screen outside. This is the tap enablement so that it's ready to accept the tap of the card. You can also, and as you know, recently in the Philippines, Apple Pay is now available. Also Google Pay is available. So if a buyer comes in with an Apple Pay wallet or a Google Pay wallet, they can also tap phone to phone. So this is the ultimate digitalization, right? You don't need to bring even your card to that particular seller. Especially tourists are very used to just carrying their phone. There is an alternative when you can also, if you didn't bring your card, there is an option of payment link that is not shown here, but you can also see it if you want in outside, where you can access the link either by scanning a QR or by sending it via email. So this allows a number of possibilities. Somebody that didn't bring their card, or even for sellers that are remote, or sellers that perhaps use marketplaces to sell online, as we know, famous, they're very famous in Southeast Asia as well. So once the card is ready, or the phone is ready, you tap on the phone of the seller, and then you remove it. And then you have, here you go, the process has been finalized. You have the sale item officially on the phone. The seller has had full control of the transaction. This is something that our market research says is what they want. They have had a lot of issues with fake screenshots from transfers, so here they have full control of the sale, and they can even send a receipt via email to their seller immediately there so that it's all properly done. And with step 6, I just want to show you my proud purchase. So, very happy to send gift home that I bought. It was a bit pricey, but I'm happy to support the Asia Foundation, and I paid with my Singapore card. Thank you so much.